Hi, I'm Colleen.
And I'm Peggy.
Welcome to our tiny house. This is our happily ever after.
And our house is 20 feet long by 8.5 feet wide by 13.5 feet tall.
And it was built by Pacifica Tiny Homes.
We met almost 4 years ago, and we married 2 years ago, so we're still newlyweds. And we both had a tiny house dream. When we met, we were like, you want a tiny house? I want a tiny house. This is great. We should get a tiny house. So, so we did. But I'm the animal person. She's the one that vacuums up the cat hair. That says it all right there.
Yeah. Well, when you married someone who was a dog groomer for 43 years and had 5 dogs when I met her, and alpacas and chickens, but you really have to be an animal lover.
We went from 1366 square feet, plus a garage that was my business, and then it had a room on either side of the garage, so we had all that space.
And a 1/4 acre lot.
Yeah.
So it was a big property.
So yeah, we downsized for 2 years, and then we had to downsize animals. Alpacas had to be sold, chickens had to be sold. Had a greenhouse that someone came and disassembled and took away, all lot of stuff. We moved here to Tiny Tranquility Tiny House Village in Waldport, Oregon. We've been here 2.5 months.
We have the end lot. It's nice and quiet back in here. We have a lot more room than if we were in other parks or situations, so that's a bonus to have a tiny house and a yard.
Yeah, I would guess if we were in an RV park, it would be about triple. There'd be like 3 RVs on this one spot. So I love the size of the lots here at Tiny Tranquility. It's really nice.
And they landscape it well, so you have a little division between the houses. There's shrubberies and things. It's a newer development, so everything's growing, and it's really nice. It gives you a little sense of privacy and nature at the same time. It's wonderful.
I'm going to show you a tour of our outside features of our house. This is our outdoor storage on the back of our house, where we store the stuff that goes for when the house is going to move. This is that stuff. And then just overflow cat litter, vinegar, insect killer. This is all my dog grooming stuff, although I haven't groomed a dog since I retired more than a year ago. We'll see. And then just miscellaneous earthquake kit, that kind of stuff that we don't need frequently is all back here. This is our loft ladder, but it's heavy, it's bulky. We only use the loft for storage, so we keep the ladder outside because when it's inside, it takes up half the house. So I only bring that in when I really need to get up in the loft. And now we're going to go see the cat's litter box that we can access from the outside. This is right next to the front door. There's a cat door on the inside, and this is under our bed. Our bed is on a raised platform, so this is really under our bed. The cats have their litter box in there and their food and water, and the dog can't bother them when they're using it. On this side, we keep animal supplies and recycling because there's a wonderful comprehensive recycling program here. And this is our best friend, Cinnabon. Okay, this is where she can lounge in the sun. Has her little lounge area. It's not for exercise, even though it's called an exercise pen. It's just for lounging because that is not enough room for a greyhound. Luckily, Tiny Tranquility has a dog park. Come on in. Let's see the rest of the house.
Welcome to the interior of our tiny house, our happily ever after house. Right now we are at the front end of the house, and we have a lot of custom features that were put into this house that the builder accommodated us for. One of them is both of us being seniors, we did not want to have to climb up into a loft at night to sleep. I have 2 artificial knees and a hip, and that was not on my agenda. And we hope to age in place in this house. And so they had a model where they were actually having a raised bedroom, and so we took that option, and we were very glad that we did.
And as you come into the house, of course, here's the cat door. where the cats access their food and litter box. We have bookshelves with all our games, books, we have DVDs, and then I added this little lip myself so that our laptops can sit here. All our clothes are in these drawers. And I fold my shirts with a folding board so they're all the same size so they fit exactly. Then we have shoe storage here, and the dog's toothbrush goes in there.
We've realized that maybe we want 24 feet instead of 20 because we have a greyhound. We didn't think about the big greyhound bed. But
Big dog bed to walk around.
We're still thinking that we want to go 24 feet. So the thought is if we can sell our house, then we can go ahead and just upgrade to their next size house, which give us an extra 4 feet. When you have a big dog, is really room for the dog, but
Yeah,
you know, you don't have to walk around everything and stuff. But you know, that's hindsight's 2020. Towards the rear of the house is obviously our kitchen area, and this is my area. This is my realm because I'm the cook. Peggy found this special sink. She had already found this sink before I even met her because she was anticipating getting a tiny house. And people love this sink when they come in. It's a nice focal point and adds a little pop of color. This is a IKEA countertop that our builder uses, and standard cabinetry. This is the junk drawer. Every house has a junk drawer. Has just odds and ends and things in there. And then for my pans, Peggy realized that, or I told her that I needed room for some of my taller pans, but I also had smaller things that I needed. And this was kind of wasted space because there's this one big, long, tall cabinet. So Peggy built this for me, and it's a little pull-out. And so I tuck all of my little silicone things and smaller things in there, and they fit right over on top of all my big cookie sheets and things that are wider and taller on the bottom. So that works out. So whenever you have a tiny house, you're going to find you're going to have to modify some things and make adjustments for what you own and what you have. That's just par for the course, just like with any house. And then this is my baby. This is the Whirlpool. This is a convection microwave combination oven because I cook and I bake. And so I needed to have this, and it also vents out. They have this vented out to the outside, so it pulls all the heat. And it also has an exhaust fan underneath, so that when we're cooking in a tiny house in particular, you don't want a lot of odors and things in your house. So this is an all-in-one unit, and it was huge, and so they had to build this in, and they had to build this on top of there. And then what they did very cleverly was that they gave me some storage room, and so things like our aluminum foil, little odds and ends that we don't use regularly can go up there, and so that gives me extra storage, and it secures this really well. And then again, more cabinet space. You learn to get creative. So I had to get rid of a couple pots and pans because they didn't fit in here. So you just learn how to stack things in, and you just get creative. And underneath our sink here is where our hot water heater is. We have a 10-gallon electric hot water heater for our house, and gives you about a good 15 minute hot shower.
Thanks to NordVPN for sponsoring this video.
Is your cyber secure? I know mine is.
That's because we use NordVPN. It helps with online security and online privacy no matter where we are.
VPN stands for Virtual Private Network, a service that protects your internet connection and privacy online.
It creates a secure, encrypted tunnel for your data.
Like this? That's a tunnel like this?
Ooh, not exactly. This tunnel protects your online identity by hiding your IP address and allows you to use public Wi-Fi hotspots safely.
Wherever we travel, we can use public Wi-Fi without fear of stranger danger.
NordVPN is fast, easy, and super affordable. So don't wait to take your cybersecurity up to the next level.
Use our link in the description or use code TinyHouseExpedition to get your 2-year plan plus a bonus gift with a huge discount.
And the oven opens up, but it opens this way, so you have to get things with tiny houses. You learn the way doors open or close, but it's better this way. And inside we have a cooktop that I use because we opted not to use our counter space for a built-in cooktop, which is a standard option for our builder. So we decided to go with this instead. So I just pull it out when I need stovetop and cook on that. So, and in our old house, we actually got rid of our stove, and I practiced cooking on this all the time. So I had no stove anymore. So I had to learn how to use this and get creative when I was cooking. So that was kind of an interesting experiment, and I would recommend that to anybody to practice it. Storage is everywhere, obviously. Peggy, my wife, likes all the retro stuff and shabby chic, so she collects all of these old crates and things actually from a vineyard in Bakersfield. So we have all of our different things that won't fit into the pantry because I cook, and we have a lot of variety of foods and spices and things. So this works out nice, and Peggy gets on the ladder for me and goes up and fetches me something when I've run out of it.
We arrived 2 or 3 hours before the house arrived. We got to our spot and we had like 10 neighbors just hanging out in our yard before the house even got here. It was so great.
Yeah, can we help you unpack? Once the house arrived, they did a basic leveling and things, and people were like, well, do you need to fill your refrigerator? The local store's down the street. Can we go do stuff for you? What can we do?
It was a great welcome.
Yeah, and that's how it is here. Everybody looks out for everybody.
Yeah.
It's a real community kind of spirit.
And interestingly, it seems to me, from the people that I've met, and I don't know if I've met every single person, but everyone's kind of an older female. Like most everyone is, like, I'd say between 50 and 80 and female. There's a few guys here. There's a few couples, but mostly we're older retired women. So that's pretty neat.
Builder normally had staggered steps that went up to the loft and for storage, but we opted not to do that. Peggy has a lot of clothes. Well, we both do, but we decided that we wanted a closet instead, so they built this closet for us. It works out nice. Our little ladder that we use just inside the house, which is lightweight to get up into the shelves, hangs right here. We have a hook between the refrigerator and there where we hang our jackets when they're damp from the rain. We can store little things in here like a table. We have folding chairs we can store there. So this is really nice, and it adds a little extra some up there for our air filter. Then it's our large refrigerator. We started out with a small refrigerator, but like I said, I cook, and I got tired of going to the store every 2 or 3 days. It's a little bit tall because we have a storage shelf that we had someone in Nice, California, a cabinet maker, make this for us because I needed a place for my Instapot and some taller types of things. So when we open this up, we have everything from our tofu press to our toaster to my Instapot, but everything fits right in here. And so it's very convenient. And then we just close it and it's gone. It's out of the way. I would recommend if people are going to do tiny houses, they hit some of the tiny house shows, meet the different builders, see how people do different things, and get a good feel for it, and really look at what you have in the house and think, can I live without this? Or can I live with a smaller version of that?
My attitude was a little different. Can I fit this in? Well, is there a place I can put this so I can keep it? I have to find a place for this.
Sometimes I have to say no. I don't say it very often, though. It's the same, even happy wife, happy life.
Well, I remember you telling somebody, she's even got a couple dead cats in there. And I'm like, actually, I have 4.
They're ashes. It's like, fall in love with an animal lover. That's what you end up with. So behind me here is our loft. It's 4.5 feet by 8 feet wide. You could actually put a twin bed up there if you chose to, but that's more of our storage area. Peggy's a sewer, so there's a lot of sewing equipment up there and things that we just don't use regularly. So it's nice. And right now we put those curtains along there to kind of hide it a little bit. Peggy has lights there, and it's nice because we get a lot of light in from these windows and things like that. So. And we have a big ladder that's on the outside of the house that hooks up here, lets us get in and out, up and down. We're glad to have that space. It's a good space. And this is the barn door. That's the entrance to our bathroom. My wife Peggy had this for many years, and so we had them inlay that in the door. Unfortunately, we had a little accident, so we have a stained glass person we're going to have to take the door off and have them repair that. But stuff happens in any kind of house. But I like the sliding door, the barn door. And then I was a little anxious about being in a small bathroom, but actually, it's actually pretty roomy in here. We have our shower. It's actually pretty comfortable. And a clever little thing that we did, I found it on the internet, is we have a little hook there. And when you want to just dry like little tiny vegetables or your bathing suit or anything, you can flip this down, this little octopus, and hang it in your shower. You don't have to have a clothesline or anything. So that came in really, that was a clever little thing. So you can get those on Amazon. So I recommend it to anybody in a tiny house because it gives you, or where? IKEA, sorry, it's an IKEA. And in our bathroom, we opted to put in a small heater. It's an induction heater. It's made by Envy, and we saw that on some of the tiny house builds that people had. Even someone put it in their van. It's cool to the touch. You can put it anywhere where there's moisture, so it can be in the bathroom. You know, it gets a little chilly here in the Northwest, we've learned, being from Central California. So we turn this on at night, and in the morning, the bathroom's nice and warm when we go in there. Because we leave the door shut at night, so the heat from the heater normally doesn't get back here. So it's really nice to have that. And then we have a Nature's Head toilet, which is pretty popular with a lot of folks. And then shelving. Peggy built some shelving for our towels, and we put other shelves in here. And because we're ladies, we have a lot of accoutrements, so to speak. So we needed a lot of shelves for things. And this is an IKEA sink, which our builder puts in most of their houses, and cabinet space underneath. And then this is a mirror that Peggy's wife had painted and decorated, so we brought that with and opted not to have the medicine cabinet and to have this instead. So it's kind of a nice touch, a little personalized touch. The reason that we see so many women here in this park is, and particularly older women, they're either widowed or retired. It's affordable. You can get an expensive house or not so expensive house, but I think that probably most women have had busy lives, raised families, or been, worked, had careers and stuff, and they want the simplicity of it. And I think most women, when they admit it's like they don't like to clean, and you have your own little kind of space, and it's safe, and I think it just holds a lot of appeal to women.
It also keeps your kids from moving back in with you.
Ooh, good
there's
point.
a bonus.
I also think women, I'll just say from my generation, kind of live the traditional life, even, at one point I was married, Peggy was married. You've lived the traditional life and you're just ready to say, you know what, that stuff's not important to me anymore. It isn't, or the kids are gone, I don't need the space, and just make life simpler.
Well, and still at this point with tiny houses, it's still kind of adventurous and brave to cut ties with all your stuff and go tiny. I look around and I'm thinking a lot of these women that I know here already are adventurous and brave. They just took the leap and did it. I'm kind of badass myself. So, I jumped out of an airplane a week before we got married. Yeah, just because I turned 60 and I wanted to do that.
I think it's a little bit again about it's my time. I can have my house the way I want it. I can do what I want to do. I'm not taking care of kids, grandkids, or I don't have a partner anymore. What am I going to do? I want a simpler life. So I think that it has a lot of appeal to older women in particular.
I'm a real list maker, and I have a list, I found it recently, I listed all the things I was looking forward to and what I wanted to get out of tiny living. And I found that list and I'm like, in a year, I've done every single thing on this list except for learn to juggle, which was on the list. So yeah, I'm getting everything I wanted to get out of tiny living.
Like we said earlier, that our house is 20 feet long, but we've decided that we really need 24 feet because we have a large dog that we're kind of tired of stepping around, and just realized that extra 4 feet would probably suit us a little bit better. on that. So we're considering selling our house. So if anybody's interested in our home after seeing this and they would like to talk to us more, they can contact us through my email.
Thank you. Thank you for watching our video and for stopping by Tiny House Expedition. I'm Alexis.
And I'm Christian. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
And for more tiny home tours and stories, click the videos below.
And join us on Patreon for bonus content,
including face-to-face conversations with us. We hope to see you there.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good one.